Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Conscious Conversations with Hayley Cullen. I am here today with my beautiful friend, Kyle. Thank you so much for coming in and joining us today. I look forward to this chat.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it. And I love the name of the podcast, Conscious Conversations. We need to have these more and more in a world that seems to be in the world that we're in.
Mm, we definitely do. And that is the opening question for Conscious Conversations. If you could have one conscious conversation with humanity, what would it be about?
Hmm. What would it be about?
Yeah, what would you talk to humanity on the
Love and
conscious?
acceptance.
Amazing. Do you
Love
want
and
to expand on
acceptance
that?
love and acceptance for people of all kinds. Doesn't matter what they look like, sound like, be like. I'm talking specifically disability. Um, and just just having a curious mentality and having a sense of compassion. I mean, that's what we're meant to be as humans. And the big thing is connection for me. So love accepting the connection, purely based off my own journey. And I feel like the world's slowly starting to come to that, but at the same time, it's never going to come to this union of one. Um, and it holds my heart very close, like, to speak of this because most of my life I've felt like the world hasn't accepted me for who I was. But then in reality, I didn't have to accept myself.
Mm,
So when you do a large amount of inner work on yourself, you recognize that you've got to come to that acceptance within yourself, and then the world start attracting what it's magnetizing towards you.
right. That's the deep, like, conscious conversation because as within, so without, and
Yes.
all of that. So the world is actually our reflection. And yes, there's so much going on here, there, and everywhere. But internally, if we have peace, love, and happiness here, that's what is going to be shown outside of us. So with you feeling like you didn't have acceptance for yourself, that's why you didn't see it outside of yourself. So did you want to speak into your life and what it is that you wish people would accept or wanted people to accept of you in the beginning before you actually did the deep dive yourself to accept
Yeah,
your.
like, we we can go down a very big rabbit hole here.
It's
But
welcome.
yeah, so um, for context, before I share, I was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy when I was 2 years old. So I didn't start walking. I was crawling up until 2 years old, and that's when um, my mum took me to the doctors, wanted to know what was going on, and also for context, the like my parents love me and did the best they could what they know, right? So being diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, where most of your life, like, you grow up, you go to school, you do all the things. I just was just a big kid, but I didn't know the extremes of what the disability would cause in me. I was always seeing specialists. I was in and out of hospital for decades. Still to this day, I've stopped seeing the neurologist because I've just said to, like, my life's getting better and better each time. There's no point in me coming and checking up on me all the time. And to the point now where I see my doctor once every 6 months, once every year. Like, whereas I was constantly seeing him on a maybe weekly to fortnightly basis. And the thing with muscular dystrophy, it affects your muscles, nerves, emotions, mental, physical, spiritual way of being. And most people with disabilities have a level of consciousness that gets shut down. And I wasn't aware of that when I was younger. And this is a new sort of, it's not new, but it's a different way of me sharing my story. So throughout my life, I was bullied, I was ridiculed. I mean, family here and there, like mental, emotional, and that sort of built a. My body felt that, like, but I didn't know the difference. Like, I didn't know where the trauma was stored and all the other stuff. And then I I had a moment. Um, like I knew I was gifted with something inside of me. I didn't know what it was, couldn't tap into it. And then I'm going to share what we spoke about before we jumped on this podcast about what synchronicities happened this year, what we before what happened and now, like, and then I started a job. So this was when I was in my early 20s. So I went to university, did all the things I'm meant to do, right? University left. I've always been an avid junkie of growth, you could say. And I've
Yeah.
always been that, but not the healing space itself and the personal development, like healing and like all the modalities and stuff. So I went to university. I got a job at the time. I was working in a call center, uh, selling life insurance, which was great, and it was great to some extent, only because of the people I worked with. And in that time, this was back in 2013. So this is going back over 10 years ago now. In that time, I met a friend. Like we gelled really well. We were both in the same interests, like MMA, sports, fitness. I wasn't really into fitness back then. It was more so like I wanted to give it a go, but I didn't have anyone to sort of allow me the opportunity because of the disability that I had, and I wasn't aware of the capabilities I actually had within me. And then we sort of went to gym together. We started connecting more, conversations day-to-day basis. That relationship lasted good several years. And then it was in it was in 2021, August 30, 2021. Going back to what we spoke about we started this podcast, I just finished up my first retreat. So during that time, I worked course jobs. I worked in a sales job. I learned all about sales psychology and I fell in love with that process, right? And that's when I fell in love with personal development. That's when I fell in love truly in the personal development space because I love the process itself. And then it was during this job, like this job was all about like sales are all about like becoming better, living better, adopting healthy habits. Plus my friend at the time was the same thing. He was in the military. So he worked his ass off to get in the military. He was a security guard in Surfers Paradise before that. But he never really shared that he wanted to be in the military. He just had a thing for it. I think there was his like he finally found his purpose and he was living it in the military. And he was only in the military for about a year or so. And then in this retreat, like I had the best time, ice baths, um, learning about our alter ego, just business. It was like a reset retreat. It was called Primal Reset.
Mm.
We got into fitness, and then when we were training, I connected with heaps of people, and it was part of Swish Academy, which is I'll give a shout out to Ryan Tuckwood, who's a friend of mine. He runs Swish Sales Coaching, and a mentor and a friend of mine I've known for several years now, and we were training, and like everyone would just get so inspired by me by just training, like what I was capable of, and it was like, oh shit, I wasn't aware of that until people reflected it back to me, and the power of my own vulnerability.
Mm.
And it was when I left the retreat, I got home. There was like no phone for like 3 or 4 days. And I got home, and as soon as I got home, I probably had maybe 10, 15 minutes, tucked on my phone, sat on the couch. I got a call, and the call was from my brother. My my brother, he's like, it gives me goosebumps now as I share this. It's like, have you heard the news? I was like, no, what are you talking about, bro? I've just gotten home from a retreat, no phone. And they think it's Brendan. I'm like, what do you mean they think it's Brendan? And they think it's They think he's been killed. And I didn't know what to think. All I could say was, I'm sure I can swear on this podcast. Cool. I was like, what the fuck? Like several times out loud. And that was just when my world just be like, "Oh, shit." My world just come crumbling, crashing down. I made a couple of phone calls, got people over, told my boss, I had like a full month off work trying to process it all. And I think it was when I first that was a change that I needed to really start fulfilling my purpose in life. Because before then, I started Instagram page inspiring people. People would like love it, and it was like I didn't think anything of it. And then in that moment of him passing, um, I was like, I need to fucking do something in my life. Where am I at? Like, what am I doing with my life? I'm fucking drinking every weekend, most weekends. I'm working a 9 to 5 job. I mean, I love the job. Like, I love the people I work with. It's a lesson we learn from when we outgrow it. And my mates are cool, but they don't like they were high school mates. They were mates from school. I've still got very close relationship with a couple of those people because of who they are. And but I was just like, there's more to life than this. And that's when I decided to go to a personal development event. And my first one was, I can't remember when it was. It was it was back in 2021. It was like when I first experienced breath work.
Mm.
And I know you've had a couple people on specifically. You had Warren on, and he was talking about it, and there's just so much power in it. But it's also a way to like release all the emotions. And that was like, I was like, fuck, what the fuck is this? And then that's when I decided to just crave this path. But going back to the synchronicity of our conversation, is where I had the retreat was the exact same place he got married.
Oh, wow.
And I was groomed at his wedding. It wasn't the same vicinity where he got married, but it was the exact same sort of resort area. And the and it's still I'm getting soul bumps right now, like sharing this. It's still just the spiritual component of that, like let alone everything else, like the mental side of it. It's like, fuck. And we're in the same sort of container together. And it's like we've been taught, like when people die, they have nothing left to teach us. And what I learned from my mate passing is the love and acceptance he had for himself that he passed on to me that I didn't have for myself. And now it's been a long journey over the last few years. And now I feel like I've got that for myself internally. And
Yes.
now it's projecting externally within my reality. And the time he passed is when we had beers at a at the pub after the retreat. And that was the same spot we had beers at his wedding, like before the wedding. So it was just like, it's just so, it's wild. And like, I've got much deeper connection with him now than I ever have in my whole life.
Mhm.
And it's hard. Maybe people may not believe this, or they may not want to hear this. Whatever your reality is, that's perfectly fine. You're exactly where you need to be. Yet the people in our lives, they're either come in for a season or they come in for a reason. And when you learn the lesson, when you start to navigate the portal, I would call it, of consciousness, of when you level up your frequency, you realize all those people that have played a role in your life for the very exact reason you're here on this planet. And it's something I've got a gift being able to connect people based off whatever comes through spiritually for me. And it's wired.
Mm.
And this is
That's
like,
yeah.
if I were to share this maybe 3 years ago, I'd be crying on the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
It's
I
like,
get it.
and like at the end of the day, like grief, you've got to let like you all the emotions part of the healing journey. You've
Absolutely.
got to let it out. Like if you hold it in, if you continue to go to work, you continue to go to work there's still a part of you that hasn't actually felt that, and it's just like, yes, sure, you may need to go to work to survive, 100%. I get that. At the same time, though, you can't keep going because then eventually it's going to catch up to you, whether you're older, whether you're younger, your body's going to shut down. And that's what happened to me. My body shut down. I had unexpressed emotions, fear, anxiety, whatever labels you want to call it.
Mhm.
And it was in that moment that all the emotions come to me. And then doing so much healing and breath work and all the other modalities, hypnosis, all the things, holographics, it's like, it's just opened up a whole new reality, a whole new world. And it's like when you experience it, you'd be like, I'm never going back living like that.
Yeah.
And it's a way of living as well. It's not just doing the thing. It's like it's the purest, most sovereign way of living as a human. Um, instead of what the system teaches us, what we're meant to be, what we should be, based off other people's projections, biases, belief systems. It's it's living out your soul's given purpose and it's living out that mission you're here for. And as much as it's hard day to day, sometimes for me, I still show up with a smile on my face because I know there's much less people out there that are fortunate than me.
Mm. And we get to go through it all, and we actually have to feel it all like that. It's happening for us, right? Like this is my biggest thing is these things happen for us
It's
to
happening through
create the
us.
yeah, through us and for us. So we to create the person that we are here to be, right? So for you to be able to experience all of this and to feel it and to then bring it into your own world and your own reality that change the different things and be this person that you are because of what your friend, the gifts that he gave to you in passing. And yeah, I love that we get to be so open to all of it and we get to see it from different perspectives instead of just the grief that we once thought that it was, the way I saw grief for so long is so different now to how I see it and feel it because of what we have learned, like in the things that we have been doing the last couple of years. So yeah, I feel all of that. All of
Yeah.
that.
It's even though I live in this body, this human vessel, it's so fucked at the same time because my soul has given me this body to live this life in this way, and the feeling will never stop. Like like you can be in nature and you can be here. Like it's just a spirit of like when you get goosebumps or from like the ocean or from the waves or from the wind, it's like your body, your soul is like, this is great. This is freedom. This is like healing in itself. But you've got to clear your vessel in order to experience that. Because so many of us numb and disassociate from feeling because we don't want to feel. It's like, well, live a life where you're not on medication, where you're not on prescription drugs, where you're not numbing yourself every weekend, then
Oh,
find
every day. And
and
mine
or
was
every day.
exactly ignorance. Yeah.
Social media is a big one. Like live a life that you can remove all those distractions and then figure out what you're really here for. Like at the end of the day, like your soul's here for a bigger purpose than yourself. And
Mm,
that's the beauty about uncovering this work.
yeah, it is. I love it. And I'm wondering, what do you often sit and think, how my soul chose this, right? My soul chose this body. So what is it that I get to gift other people in this lifetime?
Oh, I got soul bumps again. I call them not goosebumps, soul bumps.
Yeah.
Um, I know exactly like my soul reminds me every single day. Well, like I'm here to like inspire and initiate people into their souls given work. Like
Mm,
like every time I connect with someone, whether it's someone random, whether it's in the street, someone new, it's like I initiate something in them that I haven't felt before. And that's purely based off my body and my soul. I just have to be there with them.
Yeah, the connection.
Like it's just it's that connection piece. It's like that connection piece they're missing. And that's why when people are around me, it's like they feel that connection instantaneously. Because I've had to I've had to create it within myself. I was so disconnected from my body. And I'm still parts of me are still like it's an integration piece. And my biggest refinement now in embodiment piece is actually integrating in the body everything that I've lived through my soul, through my lifetime, and then being able to share from that place to people so they can really connect. And then they can create from this space of inspiration, impact in their world and other people's world, no matter if it's one person or the masses, like they can create from that space instead of having to force life every single time. They can just be with the sensations and in their body and not trying to avoid it.
Yeah, so I'm wondering how are you bringing this to other people when you were disassociated and not connected with your own body? Like where did you learn how to do that? Like what part of your journey, and how is it that you bring forward to other people?
So I bring what part of my journey? I think it's only hit me in the space of the last 6, 7 months. And when I got back from Bali in November, like that really solidified it. Like, and plus having a mentor in my back corner is fucking great. Like she sees me and it's like having people, I see myself, but she sees me and it like inspires her. So it's like having someone in my back corner, like keeping you going. And then being able to have the download and sit with myself to actually really reflect on my life and really like initiate something within myself. And I support high level entrepreneurs in in allowing them to get clarity on their soul's given mission so they can communicate that to the world. They can also connect from that place and then they can create their own impact.
Mm,
And that's mind, body, soul in itself.
yeah, I love that. I love that. Because when you can connect mind, body, soul, oh, just the possibilities and the things that happen and that come to you, I love doing this work as well because I spent a lot of my life disassociated, disconnected, numbing. Numbing was like drugs, alcohol, all the things for gosh, over 20 plus years of my life. So coming back to myself and connecting in with my body and how I feel and the way that I move and navigate and do things through life as present as I possibly can. And yes, there are days or moments where you do disconnect. It's not like all of a sudden I'm now in my body all the time, like we're still in and out. I'm still in and out. And allowing and bringing this forward for other people to enjoy connecting with themselves again, the slowing down, the feeling, because when you actually feel all of the things that you've been numbing all of your life or pushing down or whatever, when you actually do start feeling that and connecting with your soul and your mind and your body, the reality then that you live in is fucking incredible. It's like a whole new world. And being able to bring that to people and show them what's possible, like
Well, the
it's
thing is,
actually the best work, isn't it?
100%. But I feel like most people and entrepreneurs are expressing and sharing things from their previous mentor, which is
Mm,
which you've like obviously got to like let it out like 100%. Yet they haven't actually gone deep within their body to uncover the different memory points in their body that actually store the trauma, and it's the ancestral realm that actually it's stored from. Like it goes
mm,
back ancestral stuff. So the moment you can actually connect from that place, and I'm grateful that I get the opportunity to every morning I'll do my fill my cup up, but I'm grateful the opportunity I get to actually sit in that and actually connect back to that. Most people don't. Sure, we have our own practices and rituals. Sure, we have our own things that we do in order to create that momentum for our clients, for ourselves, but most of the time they're projecting another mentor's beliefs onto someone else, which well, in essence, you've that's how we learn, right? That's how we grow, and you got to actually mold it into your own way of communicating things
Mm,
and articulating it in a way that feels true to you.
yeah,
Because we're not like we're just copying kind of versions of our coaches, and that's what Cody says, right?
yeah.
But it's actually just allowing yourself to articulate. And it's taken me a very long time to actually sit with it and articulate what I'm really there for. And then this is the biggest piece for me. Like this year, this 2026 is like it's a big initiation for me massively.
So exciting. So exciting. I can feel that. Oh, so much growth as well, like from seeing you last year for you to now just be standing here with conviction of what you're doing for 2026. I'm so excited for you for what you're bringing and yeah. Oh, I just love it.
That was
I
wild.
love when everyone is on mission and they're bringing different things to the world from you, from your point of view, from what you've experienced, your life experience, and what's true to you. Yes, the different coaches and mentors that we have can shape and mold us. If we didn't have them, we wouldn't be
Exactly.
doing our mission, right? Like we
Yeah,
wouldn't know
thankful.
what our mission was. We'd still be stuck in probably repeat patterns and not,
And
open to.
they're our biggest allies, and I do hold so much gratitude and joy and thank them so much because they saw something I didn't see back then. And
Mm,
continue now I I feel it and I see in a way that allows me to shine.
yeah. And though you have to acknowledge yourself for actually taking that step and making that choice to actually get in touch with this mentor or coach or whatever it is to start your journey on, you know, healing or seeing things from a different perspective or whatever it is. You yourself had to actually make that choice and take that step to do it.
The action,
So
yeah.
I'm honoring you in that because a lot of people don't make that choice and don't take that step.
Yeah, I honor myself, show myself most days, and celebrate myself where I can. And like if I didn't take the action to invest in that first mentor all these years ago, I wouldn't be where I'm at today with the mentors
Absolutely.
I've invested in. And it's 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 been a lot of time, money, energy, and I'm very grateful. And every day I get wake up, I'm like, I'm just blessed to be alive. Like having this, like I live right near the beach. Like it's the people around me are the most beautiful people, and the most they challenge me. They allow me to grow. They don't take my shit. Whereas before, that was not the reality.
Yeah. And they're the kind of people that you want to be around, the people that call you forward and hold you to a higher standard. They are true leaders, leading, holding you accountable, doing all of the things because we are a product of our environment, right?
All the environment's a product of you.
Mm, correct. Internal, external. So what have you got coming up in 2026? I know it's going to be a huge year and you putting all the things in place. What have you got planned out for the coming year?
Well, next week I'm running my first multi-speaker event. So it's called the speaking event. It's 5 speakers, 1 story, 1 truth, in Currumbin and the Gold Coast. I'm planning on running them every month.
Amazing.
Um, time capacity wise, but that's my biggest intention of playing. That's what my soul was like. That's what you're doing now. I'm like, okay, cool. And also, I'm here to coach and mentor people to the highest level I can.
Yeah.
And that's what speaking event, and then nothing else really set in stone. But that's what I feel like I'm just going to be doing. Um, and then building that from there.
Yeah, amazing. So with this, the speaking event, are you, in the beginning you said about love, connection and acceptance.
Mhm.
Is that like something that will be within this
But
speaking
yeah,
event?
it's more about vulnerability, like using vulnerability as power, like actually normalizing these conversations, like normalizing like what people go through on an emotional, mental basis. Even the highest level of people, like nothing is off topic. Like
Hmm.
I
Love
want people to bring their raw, their ugly, their bold, like they're courageous, whatever that is, bring it to this event. It's Gold Coast premier speaking event. Like it's for people to witness it. And for people to be seen in it, because the biggest healing is when you're on stage.
being seen in it, being witnessed in all of it. Yeah, amazing. Amazing. So with this being seen and witnessed in your power, your authenticity, your vulnerability, what what's your story around your biggest vulnerability? Where were you witnessed in yours to bring out the power that you have today? What's your story there?
When I expressed any sort of vulnerability, I thought it was pure weakness, and I'd get shut down for it. And like, there's intimate vulnerability that I'll share on this podcast, and it's very. I shared it with. I've shared on my socials once, not very intimate. Is that one of the biggest vulnerabilities for me is that I've never been in a relationship, so I've always had things. It was just a projection of my mum, like throughout my childhood, um, and because I've shamed myself. I've used to shame myself all the time. I'm a disability, but I'm in an open relationship with someone, and it's hard. Can be hard, day to day, and that's where that connection and acceptance piece comes in.
Mm,
Like now, I fully own that within myself. It's just a matter of time.
yeah. Thank you for sharing and being with it. And I'm excited for the connection and the love and the relationships that are coming for you in 2026.
Yeah, I'm excited as well.
Oh, and how does that feel actually saying that out loud now?
I've said it a couple of times in
Hmm.
investment in rooms and on my sofa. It feels different actually allowing someone to receive that. And it's like, it's like, am I too open? Like, do I want to keep sharing that? But I don't share. It's like, I'm just going to keep focused on my mission. And it feels a lot for me to share. Like, I've avoided it for many years. And when I get to the root core of why I do what I do, it's all, at the end of the day, it's love. Like,
Yeah.
it's love what we do, right?
Yeah. Always.
Yeah, it is.
Always. Always love. So each time that you do share, does it feel like you're feeling it more, you're opening more, you're expanding
Yeah,
more, you're
I'm
receiving more?
yeah, I'm experiencing and I'm receiving more, and it's integrating on a deeper level. Like every time I share it, it's like a refinement piece. And even with a client, I had a client sign up and never felt so much receivership from a client wanting to work with me, which was beautiful. And I
Mm,
just was like, this is what it feels like. Like, wow, I'm missing so much grace. But I've experienced this many times in holographic processes. But on a different, it's on a different sort of level, you know?
yeah, yeah. Holographics is one of the
Holograph,
best that I've ever done in my life. And I'm going to the Gold Coast next week to be certified in
cool.
holographics.
Same. I'm certified, so get on it.
Yeah, and I'm so excited to be there in that moment over those 5 days, and then to then, like, bring it for my clients as well, because this was the biggest thing that I have ever done that completely changed my world, my relationships with my family, li like, the way I view the passing of my brother, my ex-partner, like, everything completely changed in my world and reality with holographics.
Yeah, and I'm certified in it. I wasn't one of the first few people to be certified in it, and it's changed my world as well. Like
Mm,
it's it's beautiful. I will be there on the Tuesday. I'm gonna be there on the just one of the days. So day after my event.
amazing
So
after this thing.
so
Oh, after your event.
yeah. So Jackie was like, "Oh, it's like are you gonna come?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll see how I feel, but I've said I'm coming, so I'll be there."
Yeah, you have to be there, right?
Yeah, everyone's gonna be there the
Because when we
14th.
don't show up for these things and the world, the universe, God, creation, whatever it is, will then put something in your path,
Yes, exactly.
right? Delicious. Amazing. So, do you use holographics with your clients?
Yeah. So I've got a few clients at the moment, and I offer it in my coaching.
Hmm.
I say to them like, oh, I always feel into it. I feel into like when it's necessary or needed, but I'm also tuning into my own magic I'm bringing to the world because
Mhm.
it's something that I've started to create that I get to give, and I've tested and gotten feedback, and it's slowly starting to mold in its own craftsmanship and
Mhm.
mastery. So I use that plus specifically holographics on a separate, depending on where the energy is going. Like I had a
Mm.
call last night and it was quite powerful. So, but it's included in my coaching, depending
Yeah.
on the person I'm working with.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. So, other than the speaking events, have you got any retreats coming up, or do you host retreats?
No, I don't host retreats. I went to Bali.
Yeah.
That's potentially that's something that I would love to do. Facilitate as well as host, but right
Mhm.
now the focus is not on that. The focus is on other priorities right now.
Yeah. Amazing. The speaking, the connection, the love. Amazing. So, with your event that's coming up next week, who's the special guest that you have speaking?
There's 5 speakers. So I've got Mitchell Ryan, which you've interviewed.
He's been on the
Uh,
podcast before.
yes, he has. He's a good friend of mine. We gel quite well. Scotty Wallace.
He's been on the podcast as well. He's a beautiful human. They both
Yeah.
are.
Uh, Joy, I can't pronounce her surname. Joy Saharasa or something. And I've got a guy named Craig coming on. So we connected. He literally reached out to me personally.
Mhm.
And Marie Ferguson. So she's one of the sponsors as well. So I'm going in sponsorship with her for this one. And then I'm putting it out there to the universe to have another sponsor or collaboration with someone. So putting it out there now. But yeah, there's no specific certain names, just people with stories to share, or
Yeah, amazing.
ones that feel like they want to be there and share something. So
Amazing. Beautiful.
it's coming to the sermon of who I get on stage, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
incredible. Maybe I'll be there one day.
maybe.
Are you going to be sharing your story? Because you have an amazing story, and I feel, like you should really share your story so much for people, because there are people out there, so many people out there that would see your journey and just be so inspired by you.
Yeah, I'll share bits of it, but it's not always about me. It's about giving value to the people.
Yeah,
I mean, I'll still share parts of my story, 100%, because I know
yeah,
what my story does do. It's just I want to highlight more people as well.
yeah, amazing. So, do you share your story on your socials?
Yeah, I normally intertwine my story within my posts.
Yeah,
Yeah, I put it
great.
on Instagram. I've shared it on stage a couple of times.
Yeah, perfect. So, what's your Instagram handle so people can jump on over and see
Yeah,
all of
so
that?
it's Kyle Kyal and Current. That's the handle, and that's on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I also have a podcast myself called the To Be Podcast. So that's TO space B. The link for that podcast is on my bio on Facebook. Otherwise, it's on Spotify and Apple. It's on
Yeah,
YouTube. There's over 20 episodes recorded. Some epic value for people. So if you want to check it out, feel
yeah,
free.
what do you, is it just you on your podcast, or do you have guests come in?
I have
What
guests. I
be?
have guests that come on, and it's all about providing. It's like to be anything you want in the world. So it's like it's providing value, wisdom, story, and real life like change, creating change for the future. Um, I'm gonna right now. I've got episodes. I got to release the last ones I've got, and I'm gonna do another season when I've got all the video stuff put out, because I feel like video is a lot more better reach than what I put out currently. I did essentially do the videos, but it's just taking up time. So I want to enjoy life at the same time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when you live across from the beach.
Yeah,
You have
and
to.
I am. I'm enjoying life. I'm building a business with people that inspire me. So it's great.
Yeah, amazing. Amazing. If you were to finish off today's conscious conversations with one piece of advice or some, wisdom or knowledge that you would love to share with people, what would that be?
One piece of advice, wisdom or knowledge. Always remember the power you hold within yourself to create the change for you, even if it's uncomfortable as fuck, if it scares you, if vulnerability feels like it's too much. Never forget the power you have within inside yourself, because the more you hold that in and don't express it, the more it dims your light. And the power of your story, the power of your journey, where you've come from and where you've been to where you are now.
Yes. I love that. I absolutely love that, because a lot of people, and me included, forget the power that we actually hold within. And we place everything external to us, and everything is right, and it's all within us. And I love that everyone does have a story. And I love when people actually share from where they've been to where they are. So thank you for sharing your journey with us. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable and just allowing this to go the places that it went today. I appreciate you so much. And I'm excited to see you next week.
Yeah, cool. Look forward to seeing you and all the fam. It'd be good to come in and get some beautiful energy.
Yes. Well, all the best for your upcoming speaking event, these speaking events. Can we find that on your Instagram as well?
Yes, it's all on there. And if you
Perfect.
want to reach out, if you feel like you have any questions about what I've shared today or anything about how you can communicate your message, how you can connect to it, please feel free to reach out to me to have a further conversation. And I look forward to having the chat with whoever gets resonance from this episode.
Beautiful. So powerful. So thank you for being here. And thank you everyone for joining us today. And reach out if you have any questions to Kyle, please comment on here or jump over onto his Instagram and connect through there. Thanks for being here, everyone, and have a beautiful day.
Thank you guys. See you later.
Bye.